Hello there, class. Mr. Yun here with today's instructive video on your research paper. Let's talk about it. Today we're talking about writing the conclusion, which means we're almost done with our paper. Great work. Let's take a look. So there's 3 parts to the conclusion that you want to make sure you have represented in that paragraph. Number 1. Restate the thesis. You'll remember the thesis is the last sentence of your introduction paragraph that outlines what your 3 paragraphs or 3 body paragraphs are going to be about. So you're restating that sentence. So what's that mean? That means you're basically saying the same thing but with slightly different words. Like you restate a news article in your current events. You don't put it down word for word. You say it in your own words, except the first time here was your own words. You're just saying the same thing again, but a little differently. That's the simplest way to say it. You're restating your thesis. You're summarizing what it is about, what your whole thing is about. So you're going to say some stuff about what your body paragraph said. And then you're going to leave the reader with a final thought. And the English teachers told me, make sure this final thought is not any new information. Let's go over an example here. So, this is my old intro. Here's my body paragraphs about George Washington, the president, George Washington, the warrior, and George Washington, the businessman. Conclusion. Now remember, we want to restate the thesis, do some summarizing, and then leave the reader with a final thought. Restate the thesis. All right. George Washington's roles in our nations were many. He was a capable warrior, a businessman, and the highest executive of the land, which is to say the president, which is pretty much this sentence resaid. George Washington was not only America's first president, but a warrior and a successful businessman. See? Last sentence in the intro, first sentence in the conclusion. All right. Now I'm going to do some summarizing. All of his skills proved to be essential in the task of being our nation's most famous founding father. So that's, all these things were super important because he was one of our most famous founding fathers. They all helped him to achieve that goal. Now, you have really a lot of room and flexibility when you're summarizing your article. So feel free to really play that however you want. Just remember it has to be a paragraph, so you're looking for like 4 sentences. So we got our thesis statement, some summarizing here, could be a little more. And then some kind of final thought. For me, I went with, without Washington, the nation would not only be very different, it might not exist at all. So one more time. It sounds a lot better when you say it all together. George Washington's roles in our nations were many. He was a capable warrior, a businessman. Let's maybe add that, put a little more juice on that. Successful businessman, and the highest executive of the land, aka president. All of his skills proved to be essential in the task of being our nation's most famous founding father. Without Washington, the nation would not only be very different, it might not exist at all. There you have it. Conclusion written. That's how it's done. If you have any questions about writing a conclusion or anything about the paper, feel free to come see me during class or office hours, or shoot me a message, give me a call, email, anything. I'm here to help you with your paper. That's it for today. The next page right here, submitting your paper, will be where you guessed it. You submit your paper, but there'll also be a video there about double checking your paper and proofreading and things like that. So until then, write a good conclusion.